Hello and good morning from North Florida on the outskirts of Tallahassee. I woke up early to try and photograph the fog here and a bunch of birds that are around this area. It's pretty cold right now. It's about 39 or 35 degrees Fahrenheit. I think that's maybe 1 or 2 degrees Celsius. And the plan is to just kind of camp out and wait for some birds in the background here to fly across this misty area. So let's see what we can find. My setup today is the Sony A7iii with the Tamron 70-300 4.56.3 III RXD. This is a great little lens. It's lightweight. It only costs about, I think, $500 or $600. Pretty sharp, actually very sharp. I'm gonna go on shutter priority. I'm gonna set my shutter speed to 1/2500th of a second to hopefully catch some birds in flight through the fog. And if we go into my settings here, I'm on auto white balance, shooting on raw. ISO is auto, and I have my drive mode on high plus, so that way if I can catch a bird in flight, I can take a number of shots all at once. And I'm also in autofocus continuous. So let's do some bird hunting. Here's our first bird, an egret in the mist. It's quite a distance away, but I have a 300mm lens, so I'm just gonna zoom in. Actually, I'm gonna bump into my crop mode. So now this is essentially a 450mm lens. Of course, you could crop it in post, but I like to do this crop mode because I can zoom in more and see my subject more clearly. Just waiting for the egret to do something. He's just kind of hanging out on the lily pads right there. So 2 egrets landed just in front of me. I'm pretty sure they're egrets. Let's see if we can make a nice little composition here. So to be honest, I'm not really much of a bird photographer. I usually photograph landscapes, cityscapes, the night sky, the moon, that sort of stuff. I find bird photography a little bit boring because you're just sitting and waiting for birds to fly by. But it does get exciting when you do see a bird. It's kind of like when you're fishing or photographing lightning. You're waiting, but when you get that lightning strike, it is a lot of fun. So I'm trying to get a little bit better and be more patient with bird photography. I think this is a blue heron. They're known for being very good fishermen, I guess you could say. Right as I was packing up, a great blue heron flew by, which is actually the bird I was really hoping to capture. It just passed by really quickly. Luckily, my camera was ready, had all the settings already set up, so I think I got a decent shot or two of the heron. Not the best one, but at least I got it. There was a heavy fog warning the next morning, so I went back to the river to see what I could find. This time, I decided to observe the birds instead of photographing them to get to know my subjects a little better. For instance, I learned the Snowy Egret has a black bill and yellow feet, also called golden slippers. They shuffle them to stir up food, but don't confuse them with a great egret. A great egret leans forward eagerly when feeding, neck extended, unlike the snowy egret. Also, it has black feet and a golden bill, and is bigger than a snowy egret. You can spot an adult white ibis because it has a decurved bill. Now, if you're like me and you never heard the word decurved before, it just means it's curved downwards. The highlight of my morning was when this great blue heron walked through a flock of ibis. As I tracked the great blue through my lens, I felt like one of those nature documentary photographers. I could hear David Attenborough narrating in the background. Standing at up to 4 feet tall, about 1.2 meters, the great blue heron is an excellent fisher. When they fly, they tuck their neck into their body, forming an S shape, and are not to be confused with cranes, which fly their neck outstretched. So that's all for today. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.